looking at Euro USD earlier. Just full transparency, I have not even entered a trade just yet on this. So I'm waiting for it. Again, I do want to see if we can finally end up seeing this thing roll over to the downside. I would love to go ahead and start targeting some of this trend line liquidity that we have been building up. You know, I just think below this, like below this entire level, guys, is just probably a lot of liquidity that I think we could possibly go ahead and target. So that's really what I'm playing, what I'm looking for overall. I would like to see, you know, this thing to go ahead and roll over to the downside. Like I said, though, I'm not currently in it just yet, unfortunately. Right, but I am now looking to see how the market reacts off of this. Right, if it's still sitting on my hands, I haven't pulled the trigger just yet on this. I want to see what the market gives us. If I was actually paying attention to it up here, I probably would have taken it up here for sure. Right, again on the sweep of this high right here and then the closure back below, but I wasn't actually monitoring the charts at that time. Right, but that's what I'm looking for. Right, we're gonna be patient. We're gonna see if the market does give us another opportunity. If it pushes back up, maybe, and we'll see how it reacts back at these highs. If not, then this thing could just drop, and then we'll just look for something for sure. All right, so EU is giving us that push back up. All right, this is gonna be good. Let's see how we play up off these extremes up here, guys. Right, you know, let's see how we play up off of these extremes. We'll be patient. We'll see what the market gives us. Again, any trade that I take, though, guys, it's going to be 1%, 1%, 1%. So this is a bar, by the way. This is such a nugget, family. I need you guys to understand this, right? What a lot of traders do, they have $100 in their account, right? And off of that $100, they try to turn that $100 into $1 million. And they don't plan on adding more money to that trading account unless they end up blowing that $100. What you could be doing is, instead of you trying to turn that $100 into 1,000, practice proper risk management. Only risk 1 or 2%, but start to compound more money in there, right? Every single week, add another $100 into that account if you could do it, right? Add another $50 into that trading account. Treat your trading account, guys, as an actual investment account. That's what it should be. Just because you put $100 in there doesn't mean you should stop throwing more money in there. No. Now, again, if you are not disciplined, and I'm looking at you right now, if you are not disciplined, then don't do it, because you're just gonna blow your account. But if you are good at understanding risk management, if you actually practice proper risk management, then you should be compounding more money in there, because you can start off with $100 in the beginning, but if you add more money every single week, in a couple weeks you can now have $1,000, right? You can now have $2,000, $5,000 over time. And now those profits that you're seeing, right, that 5% return that you're seeing is going to start to grow as well, and you're actually going to be excited about the returns. I wish I would have did that, right, when I started trading, because I wouldn't have been dealing with smaller accounts the entire time, right? So get in the habit of actually compounding over time. You add $100 this week, cool. Just don't blow your account and just keep on adding money in it. Give yourself a max risk percentage for the week. Like, I'm only gonna lose 5% max for this week. For a $100 account, you can only lose $5 for the week, right? And again, I get it from a take profit perspective. You're not gonna be making much, right? You make $1, $2, but if you're compounding, you're gonna start to grow your account to a point where it does start to actually make a difference, right? It's a little bit of some sauce that I know can really help, you know, some of you guys for sure. Again, let's see what we got here, guys, for Euro USD. Being patient, see how the market does play off of these highs up here. Now that we did end up clearing these lows, right, because doing something like this, guys, is very interesting, right? We seen the market run this high right here, run this level of structure, and then we immediately shifted and it ended up running this low as well. So we really are probably just going to be playing this high up here, right? Is it possible for it to run? I mean, there is, right? In fact, I mean, there's a little bit of price inefficiency right above that, but that could just be either another opportunity to take advantage of, or if you just wanted to have your stop loss a little bit wider, you can do that as well, right? It's totally up to you. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly when I decide to jump in, and I'll let you guys know, you know, what I'm looking for sure. I want to see candle closures, by the way, right? I'm waiting for candle closures. All right, I'm not just taking it just because it's up here, right? I want to see candle closures. I want to see, you know, some type of a pattern now, right? Now that we're up in our extremes, now is where we start to look at price action from a candlestick pattern perspective, right? Or whatever it is that you like to look for, you know, for your entries, right? But again, we're being patient. We're not chasing this, family. All right, we got to wait for confirmations. We got to wait for confirmation. Confirmation. We got to wait for confirmation. For confirmation. All right, we have about 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. right? We're gonna be patient. We're gonna be patient. Trading is one of those things, family, where it's really dependent on delayed gratification, right? If you can delay your gratification and you can focus on the process, focus on the system, focus on, developing the correct habits, see, then yeah, it will make a lot of sense, right? It's just most people don't want that delayed gratification, right? Most people want instant gratification, and expect to become millionaires in their first month. Become millionaires in their first year. Very tough, guys, to be, a profitable 6, 7, 8-figure trader in your first year. That first year or two of you trading should be solely on just learning the process, learning the strategy, learning the language. Over time, once you do become good at it, the money's going to be a byproduct of it. Look at this reaction that we're seeing here, though, guys, on EURUSD, right? So this is interesting, right? The only thing that I don't like about it is this wick that was left behind here in the 5-minute. It is possible for the market to just shift off of this wick, especially since we're reacting off of structure. But just one thing that we've been noticing, these wicks do typically fill, right? So what I would like to see now that we actually do got that wick, right? And again, if it leaves, then it leaves. It is what it is. But I actually think there's probably a good chance that we end up filling this wick now, right? So sitting on our hands. Again, this is trading, being patient. And if it leaves without us, then it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But that's just what I like to do, right? I like to wait for my confirmation. I like to be extremely confident in what I'm looking for. And there's just certain things, certain criteria that I identify and I wait for it to happen. Now, if you did want to take this trade off of this wick, just make sure your stop loss is above the swing high. Stop is going to have to be above the swing high if you do want to take that wick, that rejection off of that wick. All right, you got to give yourself some room, right? Just in case the market did want to come back and fill the wick itself, right? If we can come back up to this OB up here, this order block, or retest of this order block is really where I would like to go ahead and catch an entry on, somewhere up here, right? 1.038. I think that could be pretty good, right? All this wick candle did, guys, is show us that there is some type of selling pressure, right? All this wick right here did, it is just getting us added confirmation that there is some type of selling pressure up in this level. Now we got to see if we can go ahead and come back up to here to then fill the wick, most of the wick, and then give us that play. And since we're going to be playing off of this OB up here, right, this little live order block up here, we can actually have a tighter stop loss as well. Very, very tight stops. We don't want the market to run this level, right? If this order block is going to be a true order block, then we don't want it to see it run that level, all right? We don't want to see that happen, right? We want to see it actually respect, this order block up here and then give us that opportunity to go lower. So that's how I'm playing it for sure, guys, right? So if we can get this push back up to this order block up here, that's gonna be my entry. Stops is gonna be relatively very close, only around a 4 or 5 pip stop loss, just because, again, I don't want to see this level violated. And if it violates it, then we'll take that loss, and then we'll see how the market reacts, back up at these highs up here. Here goes Euro. Let's see how we play off of this, guy. So we are starting to come up and get this wick fill now. All right, I'm looking for up here. Again, it is gonna be a very short stop loss for this one, because we do not want that high to get violated. This thing came literally within half of a pip. You gonna come back up and give us an entry, right? I think we are. We're playing 1 minute time frame, by the way, too, family. Like, we're playing lower time frame opportunities. I think I might end up taking this. If we end up staying below this candle right here, like, you see how we just broke this 1 minute candle right here? I think this could really trigger that continuation, right? But we're gonna see how this 1 minute candle closes. We really didn't come back up to test that live OB just yet neither, but this thing looks like it wants to start running. But we'll see. We'll be patient. How you feel about the Fed since people still spending money? I'm still very much risk off sentiment, right? I still think the dollar itself will continue long-term bullish. Now, with retail sales coming out the way that it did on Tuesday, that should have brought us a lot more strength for the dollar, because obviously if the main goal is to fight inflation, you don't want to see people spending, which people are still spending literally non-stop, right? So it's a lot of different factors, right, which is causing a lot of confliction for me, right, and in terms of what I want to do, right? Because there's what I want to see, what I think can happen, and then there's what logically is starting to make sense based off the current time of the year, right? Seasonality, guys, plays a big role in this, right? There are spurts, like the markets move certain ways based off the seasons of the year. Yeah, it's conflicting, right? It's definitely bringing a lot of confliction for me. So I've been a lot more patient. All right, so let's see what we get here now, guys. Right now that we're coming back up to test this, if we can get one more engulfing off of that level, then I'm in there on the 1 minute time frame. All right, if we can get one more engulfing, then I'm in there. All right, so if we can close below this level now, I'm taking it. Stops around this will probably be around a 6 pip stop loss, which is nothing crazy, 1% regardless. Again, I'm waiting for this 1 minute closure. Initially, once we break that, I would love to see this little 1 minute trend line get destroyed. But again, waiting for the 1 minute closure. I want to see this thing engulfed. Like, I want to see confirmation, right? I want to see that engulfing. If we don't get that engulfing, then guess what? We're still being patient. We'll get there. All right, family. So I'm taking this, right? I'm risking 1%. I'm risking that 1%, right? 6 pip stop loss, 1% trade. And yeah, we'll see what the market does give us here. EU is looking decent. If we can continue to drop, then that would be absolutely phenomenal. If we can break this low right here and really hold below this low, I think we're going to have a very good looking opportunity here, right? We're nowhere near safe just yet. A break below this level could be very juicy, right? In fact, if we do break below this level, guys, and close below this level here, I'm probably going to end up rolling my stops to break even. But we'll monitor it together, though. All right, we're going to monitor this thing together, see how the market plays out for us. Right now, we're in maybe 5 pips of profit, around 4 pips, nothing crazy, around 4 or 5 pips of profit. All right, let's go ahead. Hopefully, we can continue to hold this low now, right? If we close back above it, then that might bring us back up to retest that level. All right, so we got that close below, guys. So I'm moving my stops to break even. We're up almost 10 pips right now, so that's looking very good. So now we are going to be risk-free on this opportunity, and now we just let it play out. The whole goal is obviously to come down to here. Like, my take profit is only back down to these lows, guys, right? For around 20 pips, 18 pips. Can we break this level? I mean, it is very possible for us to break that level for sure, but if we break it, then we'll just look for another play. You know, I just like this level down here because this is a very strong level. All right, we'll see. Overall, I'm taking profit right here. Very close to take profit already. We're getting very close to that level, guys. Look at that nice play. That was a nice sell-off. I'm not liking this area right here because we had a lot of buyer demand pick up down here, guys. So I'm about to just close. I'm about to close this one. I'm closing my trade right here. Closing my trade right there. I closed out. I closed out. I closed out. All right, we caught around 15 pips, 15 to 20 pips, depending on your entry. All right, we caught this nice drop. Again, you know, our risk, you know, just so you guys can see where it was, our risk was, right? So this was our risk, guys, right? So this was a 3-to-1 risk reward, right? And I know some of you guys are saying, Abel, bro, only 15 pips. Again, we got to understand, guys, right? Don't worry about how much the target can be. And this is the reason why. With our risk being up here, this was a 3-to-1 risk reward, right? Which means we're making 3 times our risk. So if our risk was 1%, right? I made 3% on this one setup. That literally took about 5 minutes. Literally took less than 5 to 10 minutes. I made 3% because, again, I'm playing the risk to reward game. That's amazing. That's beautiful, right? Risk to reward is the name of the game anyways, family, right? But that was a quick trade. That was a banger. Right, if you actually did your calculations right, and if you actually risked 1%, guys, then you should have made 3% on your account, right? So even if it's a $100 account, you should have made $3, right? Which, again, I get it. $3 is like, hey, boy, I can't even get out of my bed for $3. I get it, but you have to understand the percentage. Imagine if that $100 account was a $10,000 account. See, now that 3% is looking a little different. So don't focus too much on your account size. Focus on the percentage gains, right? This is the biggest thing that causes most traders, guys, to not succeed, is because they're looking at their account balance. They're saying, hey, bro, I don't want to just make a $3. I'm trying to make $100 off of a $100 account, and that's why you screw up. 3% is phenomenal. It just might not seem that way, obviously, because of your account balances. But 3%, just think about if you had more zeros in your account. Once you get more zeros, you're gonna see how powerful that 3% really is. All right, so just keep in mind of that, guys, right? But this was an absolute banger. Did you guys see how we played this? Right? Did you guys see how we played this up here? Like, was that clear how I was being so patient? How I was waiting for confirmation? Because that's the biggest thing here, right? It's that patience, waiting for that confirmation, waiting for that actual time to go ahead and jump in, waiting for that confirmation, waiting for the market to give us what we're looking for. That is what we got to do. That is the type of patience you have to have, right? We could have taken it when it came back up to here, but I didn't have that engulfing. I didn't have that confirmation just yet that we were going to drop. My confirmation was, again, we got the engulfing up here off of our extreme highs, which is crucial. But once we dropped, and then we gave us that second confirmation, once we swept this high up here, we engulfed once again, that was my entry right there all day long. Right? Like, this trade literally took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. In and out, 3%, just like that. EU is still tanking as well. All right, our initial entry was all the way down, all the way up there too.